Hello and welcome to another edition of Stockwatch, and welcome to the beginning of the trading week. Lots of exciting news coming up for stocks in particular as the earnings season keeps rumbling on. On Friday we had some really apparent news on the big oil giants, which are namely Chevron and Exxon that released their earnings per share, as I say, on Friday. They exceeded demand as was expected after hitting another quarterly profit. And this comes after, the detrimental depths of the pandemic in 2020, which we saw crude oil dip into negative territories. Now we're seeing such a surge on oil because demand is expected to peak and to come back to pre-pandemic levels as we get into the back end of 2021. Hopefully that is the case anyway for a lot of bulls that are obviously trading the oil at the moment. Chevron in particular, they also reinstated its share purchase program, signaling confidence in its future earnings as well. So that was quite a boost. Both companies saw their shares rise by 1% on Friday. So let's take a look at the figures then. So Chevron, it came in at 171 per share versus 159, and the revenue was in at $37.6 billion, and this was up just under $36 billion estimation as well. ExxonMobil also beat top and bottom line estimates during the period. So this company had a $1.10 per share compared with Wall Street's expectations of 99 cents per share, and revenue came in at 67.74 billion ahead of the 66.81 billion expected. So very, very confident earnings there, and it was obviously to be expected as well. All these major oil companies are expected to exceed expectations for their earnings per share period this time around, and possibly next time around as well. So if we look at the last quarter, Exxon, for example, did hit a profit, but the 4 quarters before that, it did actually had an extended streak of losses due to the pandemic, and it was a natural loss as well. Still, the oil giants did point to some sort of caution around the spending plans. During the depths of the pandemic, the spending went very, very low, and they are not going to exercise any major spending for the next 6 months at least. So we'll see what happens in that respect. So Chevron, first of all, today, let's just take a look at what we're looking at on the chart. So at the moment, Chevron just being a little bit, let's say, hesitant with trying to get to these recent peaks. We saw this double top here, roughly just over the 110 area, and now we saw a bit of a decline, and now we're moving to the upside with the assistance of the Ichimoku cloud. I'm just going to see if prices do attempt to touch this area once again. We are trading over the $100 margin, which is very, very significant, and if we can get to the $1.17, then this will be very, very significant as well, because that means we'll be touching the Ichimoku cloud and really starting to move in an upwards direction. Looking at the RSI, nothing too much in the way of divergences. I'll just bring it down on the 4-hour chart. Intraday is always good to double check when we're looking at long term as well, especially on the 4-hour chart. So as I said, we've got this double top peak here. We're moving to the downside. Now we're moving back up. Not too much in the way of something different happening on the intraday, but as you can see here, we're just testing the Ichimoku cloud now on the lower border. So if we do get an engulfment, then we'll see if that comes into a reality and if we can start moving higher and pushing to recent peaks. So this is something to look out for Chevron. Exxon as well. Let's just pull it out to a daily chart first of all. So we're just again looking to see a little bit in the similarity of Chevron at the moment. We're just seeing what's going to happen in the near term as well, because that is once again going to be the benefactor if we can get these recent tops in the next few trading sessions. As you can see here, a little bit like I said with Chevron, we're moving to the downside now, and now we're moving up further. So let's just take a quick look at the intraday as well. Again, pretty much the same kind of story, nothing too much in the way of divergences on the RSI. I'll just be seeing if we can keep this upward momentum. We haven't actually touched the Ichimoku cloud yet, so the bias is a little bit further on the downside, as you can see from the last couple of candles. Very, very strong progressive impulse to the downside. So just be looking to see what the main opportunities are as we roll into another week of the earnings season. So keep an eye out for any news with recovery on the pandemic, because this is going to affect not only oil but the oil companies as well, and obviously their prediction, let's say, for the next 6 months going into 2022 as well. So just a few things to look out for. So that's all from the Stock Watch today. As usual, any comments or queries, please add them to the post and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great trading day ahead, and bye for now.